What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back and happy Friday. If you're an old jumper or experienced jumper or a new jumper, this is for you if you want to. If not, there's a lot of cat videos you can search out on YouTube, and I recommend you go do that. Evolution, retrogression in skydiving. It's a really important subject. So let's jump right into it and let's learn something today. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today we have something a little bit different for you. Like I said on the intro, if you want to check out cat videos, go right ahead. If you're not interested in learning or becoming a safer skydiver or actually caring about the risks associated with this sport, feel free to go watch cat videos or whatnot. Let's look back about 20 years on the evolution of the skydiving as a sport. Is a small niche of individuals, thrill-seeking individuals that in time and in the last 20 years has evolved a lot and in many ways, mostly in safety, because gear has become better. Obviously, learning from the past and designing and redesigning and testing and all that. That's why we have safer gear. But just because of that doesn't mean that we should be complacent, and that complacency is one of the biggest factors in people getting injured these days. And I'm not saying this lightly. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I've seen people get hurt and people pass away by doing stupid stuff and not thinking, or just not listening. And as we are basically a small community of skydivers all over the world, we're a tiny community. We kind of want to look out for each other, and as an institution that we guide people into getting the proper gear or the best gear based on their skill level. We take a lot of pride into education as well. So that's why I'm here. That's because you get to see my face the last probably 5-6 minutes. So here we go. So let's go back 25 years to 2020, which was basically at that time skydiving was mostly for adrenaline junkies and military personnel that needed to skydive for the work they do. And in time, the evolution of the gear that we use, from basic stuff like altimeters to full rigs, the technology applied into this has made the sport even safer and more reliable. Through all this time, and since the modern skydiving, let's say, education has evolved as well, from going from static line to AFF, which basically you become a skydiver faster. It's become more accessible to a lot of people in the last few years, and also what I call the YouTube effect, which in part I think it's part of a problem of the lack of respect and complacency that we see nowadays with people getting hurt. Because the YouTube effect, it's associated with the cool factor. Remember the cool factor? I talked about it in past videos. You want to look cool because, skydivers are cool. Of course we are. We jump out of planes, that's our normal, not your normal if you're not a skydiver. So the complacency factor is, to me, the most dangerous one, aside of the lack of respect, which we'll talk into a little bit. Because despite these advances in the gear through the years, and all the technology that we have available to safely do the sport, experienced skydivers, I've seen this, and I've seen this getting worse over time. Neglect the gear checks, the safety checks, even a briefing before a jump or a dirt dive, or just if you're coaching somebody, if you have gone through the steps of getting a coach rating because you want to bring more people into the sport, not to look cool. Oh, I'm a coach. Because I've seen a lot of people just do that. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to fly a pattern, but they want to become a coach. That's another subject for another video. But yeah, you get my point, right? So over time, repeated jumps in familiar conditions or in drop zones or in a familiar gear will, at the long run, lead to a false sense of security. And then you start making mistakes, or you start, let's say, being overconfident. And because of ego. So it's all a big vicious circle. Ego, cool factor, complacency, all of that will get you hurt. So this complacency will lead into risky behavior, attempting dangerous stunts or maneuvers that you're not prepared for, or that you're overconfident in pulling off. And then you have not the best conditions to do that. Let's say high wind, and you try to do a downwinder when you have no idea how to do that, or you're trying a new canopy and you should want to land downwind with high winds or crosswinds or something like that. So that also, the common sense part is that's a curse that all of us that have common sense have to live with the people or jumpers in this case that have no common sense. And now on the other side, you get the new skydiver that just discovered this awesome sport, did a tandem, and he just fell in love with the sport. And that's good, because we want more skydivers. We want this community to grow. But we want it to be safe at the same time. So you get that new skydiver eager to jump out of a plane and enjoy the thrill, and sometimes learn. Sometimes they're just in it for the cool factor and the fun, which is, it's okay. We do this because it's fun and because we can do it. But the whole purpose of it is to do it safely. That way we can skydive for a long time, not for one skydive. And now you get these jewels, these low, really low jump number skydivers with 25 to 45, 50 jumps. And they're already looking into downsizing, which it surprises me, because it means that either they have no respect for this. They think this is just a game that is, again, the cool factor. Well, I'm already a skydiver, so I just want to jump velocity, to just name a canopy. And they're jumping at 230, at 190 or something like that. Whatever, depending on whatever exit weight and wing loading they have. So that particular situation, and I've seen that lately a lot. I've seen people that have less than 100 jumps, and they're just skipping sizes, skipping a size down just because they just want to look cool. They just want to come in faster, or they have the false understanding that since they can't fly a pattern right, they think if I get a smaller canopy, I will be able to land where everybody lands, and I'm not going to overshoot the landing area and land all the way over there where they have to go pick me up with a golf cart or with a pickup truck or with a trailer. So there's a lot of either miscommunication and common sense. Obviously, there's a lack of common sense there, but also education, and people not enforcing, or instructors not enforcing the downsizing rules, let's say, to keep everybody safe. If you cannot fly a pattern in any wind conditions, you should not be downsizing. That's basic principle. I mean, downsizing is a serious, it's a progression, and it should be taken serious. And this goes to all SMTAs out there. You're the SMTA at your drop zone for a reason, to overlook all these new jumpers that are attempting things that they're not either trained for or have no understanding of. Should be something that comes across you, and you should address it, and either educate that jumper. It's like, hey, you are not ready for this. You should not be doing this because you're going to get hurt, or worse. And if it continues, or if it escalates or whatnot, just ground that student or whatnot, because that's the only way they will learn. If you don't let a student jump, or not a student, or a person that has low jump numbers, but is actually challenging whatever more experienced jumpers are trying to transmit to that person should not be jumping, because it's going to put his life at risk and others' lives at risk. So this is just my opinion. You take it as you will. But again, for us as skydivers have been in the sport for a while and have seen how the skydiving industry has evolved in a way, and then how I see it is that the skydiver has retrogressed and has become less caring, let's say, and again complacent for the experienced one, and clueless for the newer jumpers coming into the sport, because they have no respect for the inherent risks of skydiving. You think it's like a video game for them. I don't know.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
And I want to call this a wake-up call. That's why I wanted to do this video, because I've seen this getting a little bit worse every single year and nobody's doing anything about it. Again, going back to the evolution of skydiving, and the equipment has become better, safer, more reliable, but that doesn't mean you have to neglect the basic principles of safety just because you want to get on a load, right? Quick break here before we finish. Gyro just released the Helium. It's a great beginner canopy with low pack volume capabilities. Basically is a new fabric that they came up with. It's their proprietary fabrics, based silicone coated F111 kind of thing, which will pack a full size down from your regular zero porosity size compared to a regular CP9 cell. So yeah, great beginner canopy. I did a video a couple weeks back about the best big canopies for beginners or newbie canopies. This will definitely fit into that category. So you can get a canopy, a big canopy with a smaller pack volume if your container system is a smaller size. Please check the sizing chart on your container manufacturer based off of that to see if that canopy will fit. Again, this will pack a full size down from the same size regular zero porosity 9 cell. So take that in consideration. If you want to order your Helium, there's a link below where you can find it and order it at ChutingStar.com. Scroll down to the description where you can find instructions on how to order either stock or a custom canopy from Gyro. So check it out, link below, order yours today. So back to our regular programming. Yeah, so in conclusion, so in the last 20 years, the sport has evolved immensely, and there's more skydivers joining the community, which is great. But we need to address the complacency and the lack of respect issue in a level that we're all aware that, you know, this needs more education. It's basically comes down to that. It's education. You will get two types of experienced skydivers. The ones that can't learn because of the skill issue, which is perfectly fine. We all have a different learning curve. And the ones that don't learn because of an attitude issue. So there you go. I'll leave that at that. Acknowledging and respecting the inherent risks of the sports, it's crucial. So we can ensure we can continue to do this safely without putting ourselves and others in danger. All right, boys and girls, that's it for today. If you want to read a little bit more about what we talked about today, there's a link down below to our blog. We uploaded an article yesterday about this actual issue. So just take a read it and, you know, let's try to reinforce this everywhere. If you're an instructor, if you're an SMTA, if you're a DZO, if you're an experienced skydiver or a coach, just, you know, be mindful that this is going on, and we can educate the newer generation coming into skydiving and re-educate the older skydivers that might be incurring into all these things. So stay safe. I'll see you in the next one, and blue skies.
If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to get our latest notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.